Hello and welcome. This is Strictly Sports. I'm Ryan. I'm a reporter for Western Front, as are these two blokes.
Evan.
Morgan.
That intro music you heard is new for us, as is this video format. That was my buddy Josh Ekrit, who gave us the rights to play it. Thank you, Josh. Today we also have another new addition to the group. We just added a producer, Lane the producer. Everybody say hi to Lane.
All right, today on Strictly Sports, we're going to recap Super Bowl 50. It was a pretty good win for the Broncos. Good way to go out for Peyton Manning. Yeah. What do you guys think? Some thoughts?
Yeah, I'm glad I did put money on that. I was wrong with that one.
Yeah, I was pretty on the fence. That Denver Bronco defense that I felt was going to keep him into the game definitely kept him into the game and then some, and Peyton gets to ride off in the sunset.
Yeah, we definitely said if it was going to be, a close game heading in the fourth, like we thought the advantage was Broncos at that point. It definitely played out that way. What do you guys think about Cam not diving on that ball?
It was a pretty bad personal decision.
Maybe he was looking out for,
I think would have happened.
I feel like he was paranoid about getting hurt. That's just me.
No one was dropping on that ball anyways. DeMarcus Ware just had a hand out for it. He could easily swipe it out of his hands.
No one's going to know the rationale other than Cam Newton. All I know is, and I think I can speak for Seahawks Nation, is that I'm pretty happy I have Russell as my quarterback. And just like Bruce Irvin tweeted out, Russell Wilson would have fell on that ball. So I'm still a Cam fan. A little bit of the things that he did during the game and after the game were a little disheartening, but he's a young guy. He's got a lot to learn and to grow with, and he had a great season.
Yeah, I think they'll be back. Maybe not next year, but I think they'll be back. But it's really hard to say.
That defense is too good.
That defense is too good, and if they can just get any offense around him, I mean...
Cam's Cam, he's going to take him there at least.
He's going to force it. He's getting to the playoffs. I mean, that division is garbage.
Yeah, offensive line really collapsed for Cam, so...
I mean, look at all those false starts. Like, how many? There was like 15 penalties. Like,
and there's only so much you can do when you're under pressure at any point. We should have saw it coming. No quarterback. The best quarterbacks in the game, Russell Wilson, not saying he's the best one, beginning of the season looked terrible, and it's because of the lack of continuity on the offensive line. If you're under pressure as a quarterback, you're not going to have success, and we really saw that in the Super Bowl.
And I think that's why he walked out of the press conference early. I'm not going to make excuses for him because I thought it was pathetic, but, I mean, I think like Trent Dilfer was saying, it was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek. He really didn't want to, like, bash his guys, so...
For sure. And then when you find out and you do it comes out later in the week that right behind him there's Cliff Harris literally breaking down, this is exactly what we did to beat you guys. Like, in the heat of the moment, it's definitely hard to handle that kind of. All right, moving on.
Yeah, enough talk about football. We're about halfway or so past the middle of the NBA season.
Next weekend's All-Star game.
Next weekend's All-Star game, yeah.
We're going to see Levine, see if he can defend that dunk title.
It's going to be a battle for the ladies and the men between the All-Star game on Valentine's Day and Valentine's Day. But I think you got a four-headed monster in the West, and then everybody else.
Those four teams being?
Those four teams being Golden State, represented over there. You got Oklahoma City Thunder, San Antonio Spurs, and the LA Clippers. So those are four teams.
You're going to count the Clippers in that?
I'm going to count the Clippers in that.
I don't know, man. I'm not a believer in the Clippers.
Okay, so you got a three-headed monster then.
Yeah.
For me, it's a four-headed monster. For you, it's a three-headed monster.
I mean, you could have said a four-headed monster until the hand of that fourth one decided to break it on.
That's true. Yeah, if he gets shipped out,
they're going to suspend him. I think I saw 4 games when he gets back from being injured.
Yeah, and you even saw some reports potentially of him getting shipped out, which. If the Clippers did that, that's totally Clippers.
Like, totally Clippers move. But at the same time, I don't know. I got a very heated argument on the other side of the fence, though, for the summer. I was arguing with my dad if Chris Paul would ever be a winner. And I said the problem with him wasn't Chris Paul. I still think it's always Blake Griffin.
No, it's not Chris Paul. He's a game manager, man.
I don't know. We got an intense argument. That's beside the point.
I don't know what it is about the Clippers and that they just can't get over the hump. I mean, they have Doc Rivers, one of the best coaches. You got talent at every single position, and they just can't. Can't seem to do anything.
It's
I don't
that
know.
depth, man. They got no
Gave
depth.
away Livingston.
All their money's tied
He's
up
lighting
in
it up in
players.
Golden State.
Yeah.
Curry comes out and Livingston goes off, and then Curry comes back. So what do you guys think? Who's gonna take the West? I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna knock off the Warriors.
Come on, it's the Warriors. Like, the real argument is, like, are the Warriors going to set the record? To me, that's the story. I know you don't care so much about that one, but to me, I think the real story here is, do the Warriors set the record, and can anybody stop them?
For me, I think they will get stopped. I just think it's so hard to win back-to-back championships in anything, any sport. And I just like the Spurs. I mean, you got Pop and you got...
Spurs,
no, I don't like them. I just
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying.
I just think they're
The fan in me just cringes at the Spurs, though. I just hate the Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
never-
the Steelers are essentially the
Yeah,
same
that-
thing in a different sport.
I mean, if we're thinking about success,
Yeah.
personality-wise, totally different, though.
The Spurs just, I mean, with...
The Spurs are closer to the Patriots, if you ask me.
True.
That's interesting. I don't have that.
Head coach is the
Spurs.
same. They don't like talking to the media. When they do give answers, they're very cryptic. They got a guy that takes the lead.
Nah,
He's very
Pop will-
quiet.
Pop will be straightforward.
Pop will be straightforward, but he makes it known he does not like talking to the media.
Yeah.
Belichick doesn't like talking to the media. We have the Spurs way of doing it. We got the Patriots way of doing it. I'd see the similarities, but that's...
I just think, regardless of that and your feelings on the team, if you're going to look at a team to knock them off, I would.
They're definitely
even
up there.
And even Oklahoma State, or Oklahoma City, Oklahoma City, they got Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, two of the best players in the game. It gets tougher from there. There's not as much depth or balance as teams like Golden State or San Antonio has, but they'll be
Yeah.
dangerous. And as for San Antonio, Kawhi Leonard, I mean, he's one of the best players. in the
I will
game.
give you that. He is
And he's not talked about like that. And I just think,
the claw, dude.
yeah. And if he has to guard Steph for 7 games, we saw him get put on the mixtape a little bit. But if he's guarding him for 7 games, you're gonna have at least 1 or 2. If Dellavedova can shut down Curry once or twice, I think Kawhi Leonard can say something about it too.
Yeah, I mean Kawhi, but that's the thing about the Warriors, though. And I'm sure you can elaborate that even further. But they're just so deep, and they just like are able, like when one man goes out, here's another guy. Like who they had this offseason? There's a bunch of players that are.
They got Barbosa. correct?
Barbosa
Or
was
he
last year, I believe,
Okay.
but I know that I was watching. There's some players on there this year that I'm just like, I don't remember you
Yeah.
being here, but they are all key contributors. And it
Oh,
seems like when one man goes down, like everybody on that
Well,
team
that's
can
what
shoot
makes
a
the
3.
Spurs so
You
good.
got the most versatile player, in my opinion, in the whole game right now, and Draymond Green. Like that guy can do it all. Like he's not gonna put up big numbers everywhere, but I think he's up there right now for the season on triple doubles, just because he can do everything. Well,
Yeah, he's getting assists too. I agree with you guys in that, like, I don't think the Thunder have the strength to knock off the Warriors. Like you were saying, they don't have the depth. And late in game, I feel like Kevin Durant kind of controls the game too much, and if his shot's not on, it's just not going anywhere. So
I think it's really just between the Spurs and the Golden State, really, if we're talking.
I would be careful. Don't knock the Clippers and Thunder. Not saying that they'll win it, but
I
those
could
are-
see
those
them
are the four.
upsetting one of those
Four.
2 teams. I couldn't see them upsetting both of those teams.
And you know who we're showing a little bit of disrespect to, not
Yeah,
even
yeah,
mentioning
yeah.
right now,
Arguably
arguably the best player in basketball, LeBron and the Cavs. And they still haven't meshed in the way that Miami meshed in their second year with their big 3. So if at some point this year that they can mesh, they'll make some damage. And it's probably not even arguable that they'll get there. 'cause
Like
they'll
I
probably
think
get
they got
there.
the East gift wrapped. I just feel like when you're firing your coach halfway through the season because your best player doesn't like him, I just have a lot of questions on how you're going to be able to bring it all together.
Fair enough.
And is Irving going to stay healthy? Is Love going to stay healthy? And if they go down, we already saw what happens as that go around.
Oh yeah, all 3 of those have to stay intact for them to make any sort of noise. But if they can, and if they gel like they're supposed to, and like James and Wade and Bosh did in that second year in Miami, he's in the year 2, could make some noise.
Possibly. Well, we're almost to March now, too, so.
Yeah.
College basketball. It's about the time of year I tune in. What's going on, guys?
In the Pac-12, you got some decent teams. I don't think there's going to be a lot of teams making deep runs in there.
I've seen they think that's going to be the conference that gets the most bids.
Yeah, I could see them getting the most bids because it's a fairly deep conference.
We kind of touched on that last time.
Yeah, you get through 8 or 9 teams, and they all have a case to make it in the tournament. When you want to look at teams that are going to win, you'll want to look in the Big Ten, the Big 12, the ACC. Those are the big three, and they've been jostling for the top pretty much, especially in the Big 12 with those Oklahoma, Kansas. Those type of schools are always good. In the Big Ten, you got Michigan State, New Maryland. Maryland's up to number 2 with Melo Trimble. He's a top player candidate, Wooden candidate. There's a lot of parities, so it's going to make for an even more exciting than usual March. Not that you need any more added excitement. Yeah. It's always fun. Do you guys got any teams you've been looking at so far?
I don't know, because for me, I haven't been following super closely, but one thing I've noticed is that there seems like a constant turnover at the top right now. It's like no one can hold on to that top spot very long. I believe right now we got like Villanova for first time in school history right now. They're number 1. Like, I don't know. And to me, the more intriguing story is at the back end, because like Duke's not even ranked right now, and that seems like I never knew that was possible.
They're just not very good this year when it comes down to it.
They're not, and then you also have teams on the bubble like LSU who have arguably a player that's going to possibly be the number 1 pick in the next draft.
He will be. If he comes out, he will be.
He will be Ben Simmons.
I think LSU will get in for sure, and then there'll be Kentucky, who's Kentucky, but I don't think they have.
But even Kentucky's not as strong as they've been past
Kentucky's
year.
not playing hot. Duke's not playing well. I mean, those are 2 of the best teams. Wisconsin's not up there. Those are 3 of the top finishers last year.
Well, the reason they were so good is because they had that.
Well, Kaminsky
and
Decker.
Decker, who had been with the program longer than most of these other top flight programs have.
Right.
Like Kentucky, you'd have the one and dones, and then they go and get all drafted in the first round. Wisconsin was like they had upperclassmen.
Right, and which usually doesn't happen in college
basketball.
Does
not anymore, but I think that's why they were able to be successful over this during the time they were.
About legacy programs, let's talk about Louisville. They cut their season short.
That's rough, man.
I mean, it's always rough, like when you get the USC situation, the Penn State situation, where the players that are there now and the people that are there now really can't or shouldn't be held accountable for what transpired several years prior. It's always a tough situation to handle.
Well,
I would have never ruled myself out. I would have waited for the NCAA to hand down some stupid penalty. What do you guys think about it?
That's such a weird situation, too, because they've already absolved Pitino, it seems like, of any wrongdoing, which, is probably fair. But, whenever there's anything like that, you wonder, like, well, how is the head coach, how is he not involved? The thing that I think is, I kind of take the opposite stance of you, though. I think it's better for them in the long run. I think you're weighing short term versus long term, and I think for them it's better in the long term, as much as that sucks for the kids in the program this year, especially the seniors that are going to have. They're ranked even. Like, they're the 13th in the nation last I checked. So, like, they're going to the tourney, but they're not even going to be able to go to, like, the insider.com or whatever it was. Like, they're all types of tournament play, not even the big ones, the little ones, too. And it's like, I don't know, it's just rough. But I think it's better for them in the long term, because I think if you hold yourself accountable as an institution, the NCAA will be more forgiving of you.
But doesn't that sort of like claim responsibility as well?
I think that's what they're doing, though. I mean, if there is violations, clearly somebody wasn't doing the right thing. Somebody was not keeping a proper watch, and I just think.
I think you're both right. On the university's behalf, that's the right decision to make. If they have sanctions put on by themselves, then those tend to not be as bad as NCAA sanctions. But when you look at, they got 2 grad transfers that came in as 5th-year seniors with extra eligibility to play for a legendary coach and a legendary program, and to go to the NCAA tournament for the first time.
Just came off a deep run,
Yeah, and they now have that snatched out of their hands with half of a month to go. So they can still win the ACC title, and they'll get to play in the ACC tournament.
But that's not why they came.
Exactly. That's a small prize in the grand scheme of things and what they thought they were getting themselves into. When in reality, they didn't know what they were getting themselves into. And who really gets punished here are the kids, which is not a good thing for me. But I get why Louisville did it. So it's unfortunate. It's one of those instances where the right decision hurts the innocent, and not much we can do about that.
that daunting news, let's try something a little more uplifting. I got a new segment I want to introduce this week that we hope to make a regular part of our program, and that's a little segment we're going to call What's Good. And that's where, basically, we look in the world of sports, maybe not even be major sports. It could be high school sports. It could just be somebody doing something athletic, and we look for someone either doing something incredible athletically or, you know, just a good, heartwarming story of, like, people doing the right thing in the world of sports. And for me, I'm going to kick it out this week with our inaugural one to Nashville, Tennessee. Right now, I'm blanking on the kid's name, unfortunately, but Robert Lewis, that's correct. So there's a school in Nashville, Tennessee, where they had a senior game manager, essentially. He was the manager for the team with Down syndrome, and they decided, senior night, we're going to put you in the last minutes of the game. Doesn't matter what the score is, close or not, we're going to put you in there. And the intriguing part about it is the high school they were playing actually had Lewis's brother on it, and he was on the court guarding his brother. So he's playing loose, you know. It was a good sportsmanship moment. And Lewis actually hucked up two threes. He at least took a couple shots, airballed them. And, you know, everyone's like, well, at least he's getting the play or whatever. And it's kicking down to the final minutes. They kick it to him in the corner. His brother's playing loose. He shoots one up, and it wasn't exactly as time expired, but there was only about a second left, and he drains it. And, like, you could just see the joy on his face. And they inbounded the ball. They put it on the ground after getting inbounding it. They all met at half court, and all the players came, and they lifted him up, and they carried him off the court. And I don't know about you guys, but, I mean, I'm coming from a background of having a brother that's, you know, special needs. And to me, it reminds me what's so great about sports is that it's the human element, it's the people, you know, sometimes just doing incredible things to just help humanity, I guess, in a way. I don't know, I thought it was a cool story.
Oh yeah, that's one of those instances where sports transcends a lot of things, transcends life in general, and for me, that's what makes sports beautiful. That's why we like sports. I don't look at sports at face value. I look at it differently than I think most people do, and when sports can mesh with things like that and kind of give you a good feeling inside and make you feel heartwarmed, then that's just exactly what you want sports to do, pretty much.
Yeah. You guys got anything else to say?
Nah, thank you, Ryan.
Oh man, it's been a good show. Hashtag what's good is it the WF online for Western Front?
Online.
What's that?
The Front Online.
The Front Online, yeah. Hashtag us what's good.
Thank you,
Send us any
Lane.
cool stories you see. We want to keep this what's good thing going. We want to hear from you guys, and see you next week. Peace.
Yep, thanks for watching.
We out.